from KSAT 12. Good Morning San Antonio starts right now.
Right now, Bexar County Sheriff's deputies on the scene of a deadly shooting on the northwest side. We're going to check in with our Alicia Brea. She is on the scene gathering more information. She's going to bring us the latest.
And city parks are closed today to help enforce social distancing guidelines, but we're going to see what you can still do to enjoy the outdoors.
And taking a live look out at the Alamo City, not much to look at right now. We are going to check in with our Sarah Spivey, what we saw overnight and what we can expect for the rest of your Easter Sunday. Good morning, 6 o'clock this Sunday, April 12th.
Happy Easter. Thanks for joining us.
Happy Easter. We are dressed.
Yes, we are
in
Easter
our
eggs.
Easter best. And to fill out the Easter eggs, we have our Sarah Spivey in bright pink.
Yeah.
I haven't been called an egghead too much in my life. That was interesting. But hey, we saw some very interesting weather overnight. In fact, we were very close to seeing some severe weather here in San Antonio. That's why there was a watch out for us. And there actually is still currently a watch in San Antonio and in Bexar County for tornadoes. But I want to assure everybody, severe weather threat is done.
Good.
Thankfully, it is done. But this is a look at some of the hail that fell last night in Del Rio. Baseball-sized hail reported out in Del Rio right around about 7:30, 8:30 to 9:30 around the Del Rio and Bracketville area. Now, this storm really did look like it was moving towards San Antonio, but then thankfully it did fizzle out. We're taking a look at the radar right now, and there's still quite a bit of activity well to the north of San Antonio. In fact, up near Austin, west of Austin, near Jonestown and Liberty Hill, and even heading out toward Georgetown and Round Rock, there is a storm that has the potential to produce a tornado. Again, that is outside of the KSAT 12 viewing area, but I know us Texans, we're close and we know people all across the state. So keep that in mind for those areas north of San Antonio, north of the KSAT 12 viewing area. Meanwhile, around San Antonio, we are just seeing some areas of light rain out there. Light rain reported at the airport. You can see a moderate rain shower about to cross I-10 there. Although it's looking pretty dreary outside very early this Easter Sunday, we are going to have a beautiful day because skies will clear and we will be looking at absolutely beautiful weather, a little bit on the windy side. Right now outside, you can see that those roads are damp because of those light rain showers out there. It's 73 degrees at the airport. Humidity is at 90%. Elsewhere, temperatures are generally right around 70. It's 71 in Tarpley, 70 in Bandera, 72 in Kerrville. But take a look at this Easter forecast. Even by 10 o'clock, we're going to have sunny skies and we'll be able to warm up really nicely today. 84 for the high. We're also not going to be humid. That's the key. It's going to be nice and dry, but take a look at these winds from the west at 15 to 25, gusting up to 35 miles per hour. Any kind of outdoor burning is highly discouraged because a dry atmosphere with windy conditions could result in grass fire. A beautiful day after this rain. I'll be back to wrap up those storms last night and talk about what you can expect for the week ahead. Max?
Thank you, Sarah. New this morning in West Bexar County, deputies are still investigating a shooting that left one man dead and another injured. Police have been on the scene in the 11,200 block of West Dublin Woods since about 3:40 this morning. Our Alicia Brea joining us live with the details.
Max, good morning. Well, we're off of this neighborhood is located off of 1604 in Shanefield, and right now this road continues to be blocked off. We see two deputies here blocking this area, and that's to West Dublin Woods. And right now we can't really get too close to the scene. This is as close as we're able to get. But what we know now is deputies responded to a disturbance with a gun. And when they arrived at that residence down this street, they found two men shot in the front of the home. One victim, a teen, shot in the bottom. He was taken to University Hospital in stable condition. The other victim, unfortunately, was dead at the scene. The sergeant at this hour doesn't have an age on that victim, but I can tell you that they did find a number of shell casings on the streets. Detectives right now aren't sure if it was a drive-by, and their plan this morning is to interview that surviving victim that was shot in the bottom at the hospital. So again, that victim is at University Hospital. They do plan to interview him there, and what I can tell you right now, still a very active scene. Just a few moments ago before we went live, we actually heard a woman screaming down the street, and that's when we saw a little bit more activity, so perhaps it was the reaction, but we'll be standing by here to get more information from deputies on the scene. Reporting live, Alicia Barrera, KSAT 12 News.
All right, thank you so much, Alicia. And stand back here at home, COVID-19 cases around San Antonio continue to grow exponentially.
Right now, there are 723 confirmed cases in Bexar County, which is a 58 case increase in one day. 27 people have died in Bexar County as well. Now, cases in surrounding counties are starting to grow. There are 49 cases in Guadalupe County. 13 people have been diagnosed with COVID-19 in Medina County, and 2 people have died there. And 11 people have the coronavirus in Kendall County.
Meanwhile, we have the latest numbers for the entire state of Texas as well. Across the Lone Star State, 273 people have died. 13,352 people testing positive for the coronavirus. More than half of the 254 counties across Texas have reported at least one case.
And remember, Mayor Ron Nirenberg will give an update on the coronavirus today. He will hold a news conference just after 6 tonight, and you can watch KSAT 12 for all the latest information.
And city parks across San Antonio will stay closed today. City officials closed the parks for Easter weekend, preventing people from gathering in large groups. That means that none of us will be able to camp out in local parks or host picnics. Places that are closed include larger parks like Eisenhower and Friedrich Park. The mayor says he enacted the order to encourage social distancing. So if you want to get some fresh air today, the trail systems and greenways are open. Just remember that you cannot meet up with larger groups, and do your best to stay 6 feet away from each other.
And people in our community are stepping up to help the San Antonio Food Bank stay afloat amid a massive demand for food due to the coronavirus pandemic. Now, Thursday, an unexpected 10,000 people showed up during a mega food distribution at Traders Village. Now, hundreds of volunteers, San Antonio police officers, and staff scrambled for hours trying to provide food for thousands dealing with job losses and other financial struggles. Since then, Good Samaritans like Ambika Mather have donated thousands of dollars to the nonprofit.
So I challenge everybody to contribute whatever they can, match what we are doing, exceed what we can do, what we are doing, whatever they can do, whatever they're able to do. But let's get through this together.
And the call is encouraging others to take part in the donation challenge. San Antonio author Shay Serrano has also raised more than $100,000 for the food bank as well.
And right now on KSAT.com, we have all of the stories you just heard and a lot more regarding the coronavirus. All you have to do is go to KSAT.com, click the coronavirus tab at the top of the homepage, and you can hear the latest from around the county, the state, and the country.
This morning, San Antonio police still looking for the driver of a van involved in a crash with a motorcycle. Now, the crash happened yesterday on Highway 90, the access road there, and eastbound Military Drive. Witnesses told police the van was stopped at a red light. Well, then the motorcycle driver did not stop and crashed into the back of the van. Witnesses say the driver of the van got out and looked at the wreck and then drove off. The motorcycle driver and a passenger were taken to the hospital where they remain in critical condition.
And in Eastside Church's women's recovery home destroyed by a fire. But now, thanks to the help of the community, those women and children have a new roof over their heads. And we first broke the story last week. The Sold Out Believers Christian Fellowship Church lost the recovery house after church leaders say a child accidentally started a fire in the backyard. Now the fire spread to the house, destroying everything inside, causing 8 women and 3 children to lose their homes. After the story aired, someone in the community stepped up and offered to house everyone. It's such a good story.
I know, it's nice that they came forward to help.
Absolutely. All right, happy Easter. It is 6:08, 73 degrees out.
And Apple is working on a new Maps app update during the pandemic. It will allow users to see where testing sites are located in their area.
And we have a big birthday to celebrate today, the Hubble Space Telescope celebrating its 30th birthday. NASA now giving you a reason to celebrate with your own telescope. Well, the details after the break.
It's funny, my daughter was singing happy birthday, but to the Easter Bunny, I was like, I don't think it's the Easter Bunny's birthday, but okay, that's cool. Taking a look outside with live cam, it is 73 degrees, a little drizzly in places. You might want to watch out if you have to head out on the road. We're going to check in with Sarah in just a bit.
Good morning and welcome back. 6:12 this Easter Sunday, the reason to celebrate Easter, but also a special birthday, the Hubble telescope marking 30 years in orbit.
And you can join the celebration. So NASA is letting you check out Hubble images taken on your birthday. Just go online and select the date and time, and it will pull images the telescope captured then. Now, if you're young enough, you can even see images from the moment you were born.
So Hubble was the first major telescope to go into space and has been showing images to us Earthlings since April 1990. To check it all out, all you have to do is go to nasa.gov, and they have the Hubble telescope section. All right, well, we have our local scientist in, and she has been busy. Shout out to Sarah Spivey. Been here since 9 p.m.
Yeah, around that time. But the reason for that was there was a very strong storm, severe storm out toward Del Rio and Brackettville that produced some very large hail, up to grapefruit-sized hail. And there was the potential that that could carry itself all the way to San Antonio. Thankfully, we did not see that storm in San Antonio, but I want to show you that storm here. We'll go ahead and zoom in. This is last night at about 7 o'clock in the evening. You can see it formed just to the east of the Sierra Madres and strengthened as it moved toward Del Rio. That's when it dropped some hail as well, and you can see that hail from our KSAT Weather Connect KSAT Connect, sorry, again, been up since 9:30. KSAT Weather Connect app, which is in our weather app. Look at that hail, massive, at least 2-inch tall hail there, bigger than that apple in the background. That storm strengthened even further and moved to the east, actually became a tornado warned system near Brackettville, where it also dumped grapefruit-sized hail. It was taking a track just exactly to the east. So what's to the east of Brackettville? Uvalde, Hondo, and eventually San Antonio. So that's why we were paying very close attention to that storm. It continued to move to the east just to the north of Uvalde, bringing some smaller hail toward Concan. And then watch this. Boop. It just floated up into the hill country and pretty much became nothing. So thankfully, we didn't see any kind of severe weather here in San Antonio, although it is our responsibility as meteorologists to let you know if there is a severe thunderstorm watch or a tornado watch, because we want to keep you safe. Sometimes the atmosphere, the recipe doesn't come together for severe storms, but all of the ingredients were there. And as you can see, the ingredients were there yesterday for severe weather. We just didn't see any in San Antonio, but plenty of severe weather out toward Del Rio and Brackettville. On the radar, we've got some light rain reporting right now, currently working its way through the northwestern section of Bexar County and the northern section of Bexar County itself. Stone Oak, Live Oak, Converse, San Antonio International Airport, all getting some light rain at the moment. Same story up in Bernie, Canyon Lake. We're all experiencing just some very light rain showers, but it's a little bit more tumultuous up to the north of Austin, now down over toward Round Rock in Georgetown. They actually just expired a tornado warning up there. So again, the atmosphere all across the state of Texas, especially central Texas, is pretty primed for severe weather. Now, there is a tornado watch, which unfortunately is still in effect here in San Antonio until 8 a.m., but it's my professional opinion that we are not going to be seeing any kind of tornadoes, so we should be able to see that watch expire in Bexar County and the surrounding counties like Kendall, Comal, and Guadalupe County very shortly here. But for those counties to the north of us up toward Waco, they do have the potential for some tornadoes through 8 and through noon. But taking a look outside right now, again in San Antonio, we are not going to see any severe weather here, but I do have to mention that that watch is around just because I know some of us get notifications on our phone. It is hazy with areas of mist and drizzle and light rain, 73 degrees, south winds at 5 miles per hour. If you thought we were going to get just drizzly gray weather today, you'd be sorely mistaken. Wider view here, you can actually see some clearing out toward Del Rio. Temperatures just about everywhere you look in the 70s, but look up toward Azona. Nice and chilly in the 50s up there. We're going to see a front move through that is going to clear out all of this cloud cover very quickly. We're going to see ample sunshine, low humidity, and the temperature will be able to rise into the low to mid 80s today. It is going to be a beautiful Easter Sunday, but definitely on the windy side. Take a look at these winds from the west at 15 to 25, gusting up to 35 miles per hour. We'll be looking at a high temperature today, right around 84. Then we get a front tomorrow, and that'll allow for a beautiful week ahead. Take a look at that. Highs only in the 60s, morning lows in the 40s. Max, Stephanie?
Thank you, Sarah. I'm glad Easter will be nice.
All right, thank you, Sarah. 6:17, 73 degrees out.
In San Antonio Spur, Marco Bellinelli letting out some frustration over another player's attitude toward the coronavirus. See what he told an Italian news agency.
And renters struggling this month. New data showing just how many people have not been paying rent because of this pandemic. That's next. Good morning and welcome back. 6:20 this Sunday morning. In your morning consumer news, about 1/3 of renters throughout the United States did not make a rent payment through the month of April.
That's according to incomplete data from the Multifamily Housing Council. Now, the council found 31% of renters did not make payments between April 1st and April 5th. That's up 13% from last year. Now, this is just a snapshot of about 13 million renters, and it does not include subsidized housing. But the missed payments seem to be the result of millions of Americans losing their jobs due to the coronavirus. And Apple is working on a new tool to help people find coronavirus testing sites in their area. According to USA Today, the tech company launched a portal on its website for medical facilities to register as coronavirus screening locations. Apple will then verify those testing sites and include them as destination options on its Apple Maps app. Now, the company has not said when this new update will be available.
And time now, 6:21, 73 degrees out.
And San Antonio FC trying to stay in touch while practicing on their own. We're going to see how they're using Zoom meetings to connect.
Good morning and welcome back. The NBA was the first major sports league to suspend their operations because of this pandemic. Utah Jazz center Rudy Gobert, the first NBA player to test positive for the coronavirus. This all happened back in March. After he did so, the league immediately suspended the season. Now, Gobert was widely criticized for his behavior just 2 days before testing positive. Remember, that's when he went to every reporter's microphone and recording device as he left the stadium. He said it was all a joke. Well, his antics not sitting well with Spurs guard Marco Bellinelli. He's very sensitive to this topic because, well, the virus hitting his country of Italy very hard. Now, Bellinelli told an Italian outlet, quote, "Terrible. I prefer not to express myself because I don't want to say things that might seem offensive or too serious. But what he did was, yes, terrible," end quote. And like the rest of the professional sports world, San Antonio FC waiting to see when, where, and if their season will resume. But instead of going home to spend time with friends and family, most of the players and coaches are still here in the Alamo City. They have found other ways to stay in contact with each other, building team chemistry. That includes training sessions over, get this, Zoom. Defender Hunter Gorski says that during the hiatus, the team's main focus remains pretty simple.
Being responsible, because, we're not just accountable for ourselves, we're accountable for our whole team and largely the community, right? We don't want to contribute to the spread in any way. So I think it's, we have to be diligent and take care of ourselves. That also takes into account our diet. Right now we're not on the field running as much and it's a different type of fitness right now. So you really have to be careful what you're putting inside your body. And then, the other focus is just staying present and just taking it a day at a time and just, trying to be your best self.
Diligence and responsibility. The latest update from the USL says that teams are restricted from training in person until at least April 20th. Well, in case you don't know the date, that is 8 days from now, and it is a weird time. I know that we're operating a lot over Zoom, FaceTime, and virtually, and so are professional athletes.
Yeah, it's very difficult. It's a contact sport. Yeah.
Time now 6:27, 73 degrees out.
And University Health System sterilizing used masks to keep supplies up. We're going to take a closer look at that process in our next half hour.
Good morning and welcome back. 6:30 this morning, Sunday, April 12th, Easter.
That's right. Happy Easter. Thanks for joining us. And maybe if there is an egg hunt, it'll be a little bit of a muddy egg hunt, perhaps.
Well, some people did get rain, Stephanie, and there is a little bit of light rain out there right now. But the good news is we are going to be seeing clearing skies. So that's pretty nice for us. And it'll be nice and windy as well today. So a nice, comfortable day outside, just a little bit on the windy side. Let's go ahead and take a look at the radar right now. You can see that it's fairly quiet around San Antonio. In the overnight hours, we did have a tornado watch. I'm happy to report that that tornado watch is canceled in Bexar County, which is very good news. We're just seeing some light rain there on the radar. Let's take a quick check of Medina Lake. You can see some moderate rain showers there. You can also see up north of Helotes some moderate rain showers there, very passing light rain showers. Light rain out toward Bernie and Converse as well as at the airport. So those roads will be a little damp this morning, although most of us will be staying home this Easter Sunday early in the morning hours there. Most of the stronger storms are well to the north up near the Austin area, up toward Waco as well. Right now outside you can see that we do have some raindrops there on the live cam. It's 73 degrees. Winds are from the south. Humidity is at 90%, but this is a temporary mugginess. Like I said, we're going to be clearing out really quickly. We do have areas of mist out there too, which are limiting visibility to down to 2.5 miles in New Braunfels, down to 3 at Bernie Stage Airfield, and down to 3 in Castroville. Generally, though, all of us this morning are experiencing temperature right around 70 degrees. Very muggy for a morning low this time of year. But take a look at these temperatures. It will become sunny and it will become windy. We'll be able to get up to about 84 degrees in the afternoon, but nothing but sunshine. So the first part of the day here, if you're an early riser like us, it's going to be muggy outside, but very quickly here we'll be clearing skies. Take a look at these winds today. West 15 to 25, gusting up to 35 miles per hour. So yeah, it's going to be pretty windy out there. Outdoor burning is highly discouraged because dry air, windy conditions, that could lead to grass fire. So keep that in mind today. Again, a beautiful Easter Sunday and an even more beautiful week ahead. I've got a look ahead coming up in just a few. Max, Stephanie.
Thank you, Sarah. We look forward to that. Deputies are looking into a shooting in West Bexar County that left one man dead and another injured. Now, investigators have been on the scene in the 11,200 block of West Dublin Woods since about 3:45 this morning. That's where our Alicia Beretta joins us live. Now, Alicia, have detectives determined a motive?
Well, they're actually still trying to determine that, but what I can tell you, they have found the bulk of the evidence in front of the home. So this morning, they're still trying to determine if it was a drive-by or not. And it may be hard to see from here, but I can tell you Bexar County Sheriff's Office has their crime scene investigations unit lining up the scene where numerous shell casings were found on the street and 2 men were found shot in the front of the home. Deputies were first called out to this neighborhood that's located just off Louvre 1604 and Shanefield Road for a disturbance with a gun. But what they found was a male juvenile shot below the waist. That victim was taken to University Hospital in stable condition, and the other victim was dead at the scene. At this hour, still no name or age for that fatal victim. The plan this morning for deputies is to interview the victim at the hospital. Again, that victim is recovering at University Hospital, and they're again trying to determine, detectives right now, the motive. Was it a drive-by or not? At this hour, we still don't have any word on who that shooter may be and how they were able to escape from this neighborhood. Reporting Alicia Barrera, KSAT 12 News.
Thank you, Alicia. Also new this morning, one suspect is dead after an officer-involved shooting. Police tell us an officer shot and killed that suspect while the man allegedly tried to break into an apartment. San Antonio Police Chief says the 38-year-old man was trying to break into his ex-girlfriend's apartment in the 5200 block of Tejana Drive around 1 this morning. Now, that's near I-10 and UTSA Boulevard. He says when an officer arrived, the suspect turned around, pulled out a gun from his pocket, shot at the officer twice. The officer returned fire, hitting and killing the suspect. Chief McManus says the officer was not injured and will be put on administrative leave during the investigation is underway. Now to the latest on the pandemic, a big issue that hospitals around the world are facing right now. Many institutions are low on supplies like PPE and face masks.
University Health System doing their best to keep their nurses and first responders safe, but now with a new process. So University Health System found they could safely reuse N95 masks once they are sterilized with hydrogen peroxide. It is a process the hospital already uses to decontaminate other medical equipment, including surgical instruments. Now, the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention found the process does not damage filtration or change the fit of the mask, which must be snug on the wearer's face.
A mask that pass a visual test are then sent through the STERRAD machine that bombards those masks with the hydrogen peroxide gas, and then a bioindicator accompanying the mask shows when all of the germs have been killed.
I came up with the idea. We were originally talking about using UV light, and I said, and I was thinking to myself, I said, well, why would we use UV light? We don't know anything about that. It hasn't been used before, but we know that our surgical instruments are cleaned by STERRAD.
Now, the process, which takes several hours, allows each N95 to be worn by the same healthcare worker 4 times. The hospital is currently sterilizing about 50 masks a day.
And while that's not a replacement for the continued effort to get new masks, it greatly extends the hospital supplies. And you can hear more from Dr. Tommy Austin, the University Health System's Chief Nurse Executive, in our 8 a.m. newscast.
And dining rooms are closed due to the pandemic, but many restaurants around town are offering Easter meals to go. Dozens of local restaurants and chains are offering family-style meals today. And right now we have a full list of which restaurants are participating, what specials they're offering, and where you can pick up the food.
And on this Easter Sunday, as many worshipers gather around their computers, their TV screens for their services, a lot of services are actually being held in person, all in defiance of state orders.
The U.S. now has the most deaths from the virus, but even with the staggering numbers, there are signs of hope. ABC's Karina Mitchell has more.
The United States reaching a grim milestone this weekend. More than 20,000 Americans are known to have died from COVID-19. And on this Easter Sunday, new fears of further spread as some still plan to gather to celebrate, including Pastor Jesse Horton in Jackson, Mississippi.
We will more than likely have more than 10. We will be sitting spaced as they wish.
The Kansas Supreme Court deciding late Saturday an executive order banning services over 10 people will stand just hours before the start of Easter services. In Kentucky, Governor Andy Beshear says anyone gathering this weekend, including those at in-person church services, will be required to quarantine for 14 days. And in New York State, the hardest hit area in the U.S., the virus has killed more than 8,600 residents. But officials say there are encouraging signs.
The number of hospitalizations appears to have hit an apex, and the apex appears to be a plateau, which is what many of the models predicted, that it wasn't going to be a straight up and straight down. It was going to be a straight up. You hit the top number, and then you plateau for a period of time, and that looks like what we are doing.
In Michigan, Governor Gretchen Whitmer extending a stay-at-home travel orders banning travel between 2 residences, with only a few exceptions. In Texas, Governor Greg Abbott also increasing travel restrictions to his state, including quarantines. And on to the economy, nearly 17 million filing for unemployment over the past 3 weeks. However, ABC News has learned the first stimulus check started going out this weekend. In cities across the country, lines of cars stretching for blocks outside local food banks. For Alice Sanford, a banquet server who's out of work, the $1,200 will be just a drop in the bucket. Karina Mitchell, ABC News, New York.
And a new study sheds some light on why many of us are snacking more than usual during this pandemic. Now, according to a preliminary report from researchers at the Massachusetts Institute of Technology, isolation can feel like hunger to the human brain. Now, it's reportedly the first study in humans that shows how loneliness and hunger have the same signals in part of the brain. Now, researchers say they found the human body's need to connect is as fundamental as our need to eat.
And it is Easter Sunday. Pope Francis will be broadcasting his Easter Mass live this morning to allow people to watch from home. The Pope has actually been holding all of his Holy Week Masses online, and usually thousands of people attend his Holy Week vigils. And due to the coronavirus, people are being ordered to stay home in Italy, so Pope Francis has emphasized togetherness this week, saying that we can all get through this pandemic and continue to sing the songs of life.
And remember, we all have the latest news about the coronavirus right now on KSAT.com. Just head to the homepage and click the coronavirus tab on the top of your screen.
And time now is 6:40, 73 degrees out.
And Franklin Roosevelt famously said, "The only thing to fear is fear itself." Later, we'll have some ways to help ward off the feeling of fear during the pandemic.
And our Selena special set to air tonight on KSAT. We're going to hear more about what to expect in Siempre Selena.
That'll be pretty cool.
I'm excited for it. 9 o'clock.
Yeah, me too. Taking a look outside with live cam.
Ooh, not much to look at.
Not too much to look at, but things are going to brighten up, kind of like my dress and Max's tie.
Hey, we're in the Easter mood today.
We'll be right back. Good
morning and welcome back. This week we are honoring the queen of Tejano music, Selena.
And her legacy has continued to grow throughout the years, and her music has stood the test of time. So tonight we will air our 1-hour special called Siempre Selena. We take a look at her ties to San Antonio, speak to those who knew her best, and share some rare photos you may have never seen before.
And we also hear from a new generation of fans who weren't even born when Selena passed away. For more on Selena's life and legacy, you can head to ksat.com/Selena. Very excited. I think it's airing tonight at 9 o'clock.
That's right. Erica Hernandez has done a fabulous job, and she's a big fan as well. So I guess it makes the job a little easier, right?
A little bit. All right, now turning gears to weather. You have had a busy, I don't even know, last night into early this morning?
Yeah, the entire weather team was watching very closely a cluster of storms that developed out near Del Rio and made its way through Bracketville, close to Uvalde and Concan as well. And this is the result of that storm. Take a look at these pictures sent in through our KSAT Connect feature, which is within our weather app. This is baseball-sized hail there. Absolutely incredibly large, damaging hail. And this storm also was warned for a potential tornado too. So we had some busy hours there making sure that that storm did not move towards San Antonio. Thankfully it did not. But again, busy in Del Rio and Bracketville last night. Now today, things are pretty calm for us around San Antonio. We have seen the severe weather threat come to an end, but we are still seeing some stronger storms up north of the Austin area. But here in San Antonio, really just left with some light rain in some areas in the hill country out toward Bernie, Medina Lake, Helotes, seeing a few splash and dash showers moving through. Also near the airport, looking at some of the TransGuide videos there, you can see that there is a haze on the horizon too from some mist and drizzle. So mist and drizzle is out there right now. It would seem like this is the kind of weather we were just going to get all day, with visibility down and areas of mist and drizzle. But the good news is we're going to see a dry line moving through, a cool front moving through, and we're quickly actually going to see skies clear. But right now outside it is kind of icky and sticky. It's 73 degrees. We've got a south wind at 5 miles per hour, but those winds are going to pick up big time in the late morning hours and in the early afternoon. We're talking wind gusts today up to 35 miles per hour. So make sure that your trash can is indoors, or else you'll be stuck trying to get it across the street because of those wind gusts. Here's a look at the weather setup across the state of Texas. Look how dynamic this system is. We've got tornado watches extending all the way out into East Texas. This is all around a low pressure system. There's that front. The dry line is just ahead of it, and you can see where those storms are starting to push off to the east. This system is going to cause a lot of severe weather across parts of the Tennessee River Valley. Here in San Antonio, though, we're going to be dealing with the beautiful blue skies from this system. Look how dry it is behind this cool front here. We're stuck still in the humid air, but as I take you through the futurecast, you'll notice that drier air is really going to move in very quickly here. Even by 9 o'clock in the morning, we'll see that drier air filtering in. And then throughout the day, it's going to be very dry, very pleasant outside, no humidity, very low humidity, but the winds are going to be the biggest story today. Those winds will be from the west at 15 to 25, gusting up to 35 miles per hour. Now, a dry, sunny atmosphere warms up really easily, and we will warm up really easily today. In fact, we'll be able to see a high temperature near 84 degrees. But again, it's going to be pretty windy outside. Afternoon temperatures are then going to take a tumble. We'll see a front move through early on Monday, and that'll actually allow our high temperatures to only be in the 60s. Now, the good news is last week we were dealing with mainly gray skies and a lot of mugginess. This upcoming week will be nice and sunny and beautiful with those high temperatures in the 60s. Mornings will also be pretty shocking because we're going to have morning lows in the low to mid 40s through Thursday morning. Great walking or running weather if you want to get some time outdoors with the family or just by yourself. And again, like I said, it's going to be so sunny in the next several days here. We need a little break from this muggy and weather where we've had to deal with the potential for severe weather for the last 3 days. So this is a very welcome change for us. Thankfully, here in San Antonio, we have not seen any severe weather over the last 3 days, but you can always count on us as meteorologists to keep you informed. This week, though, looks really great. A lot of sunshine. Max, Stephanie?
Thank you, Sarah, for all that hard work all night long.
All night. All right, thank you, Sarah. 6:49, 73 degrees out.
And all of us have fears, especially during this pandemic. After the break, we will learn some tricks to handle thinking about fear to allow us to be truly happy.
Erica Kotite has a few common fears that she's tried to steer clear of. Being near the water is one of them. Fear of failure is another. But when it started to affect her career as a writer, she knew she needed to take charge of the problem.
Writing a screenplay, something that I had in my head forever, was a beast. I finally realized I almost felt like I was afraid of finishing.
According to a recent survey, more people are afraid than ever before. Our fears range from finance to illness, even pollution. They can lead to anxiety, depression, and other serious conditions.
Destructive fear wants to keep us immobilized.
Psychologist Carla Manley says fear doesn't have to be destructive, and managed properly, it can actually help lead to positive changes in our lives.
Every destructive message of fear has a positive side. We just don't pause to listen to it.
So how do we change how we look at fear, especially when it involves the demands of work?
If we don't take action, one baby step at a time, we do not transform our lives.
Carla says to outline your priorities, stay firm on your goal, stay aware. If it doesn't feel good, stop doing it.
There will be a voice that says, speak up for yourself.
Fear was not necessarily something to run from, but that I could actually work with it.
Erica is now putting the finishing touches on her screenplay.
It's a good screenplay.
Dr. Manley also says that fear can lead to chronic stress. If you feel yourself getting stressed, slow down. Don't take on extra work, get plenty of rest, and stay connected with friends and family. Erica Hernandez, KSAT 12 News.
And time now, 6:54, 73 degrees out.
We will be right back.
In West Bexar County deputies have been at the scene of a double shooting that left one man dead since about 3:45 this morning. We're on the 11,200 block of West Dublin Woods, where deputies responded to a disturbance with a gun. And when they arrived at the home, they found two men shot in the front of the home, one victim, a juvenile male, shot on his bottom. He was taken to university in stable condition. The other victim was dead at the scene, and the sergeant at this moment has no age on the victim, but we can tell you that a number of shell casings were found on the street. Right now, detectives are still investigating, piecing everything together, and they aren't sure if it was a drive-by. They do plan to interview that victim at the hospital this morning. Again, one man dead, the other victim, a teen male at University Hospital, recovering this morning. Reporting, Alicia Barrera, KSAT 12 News.
Well, it's gray and it's hazy outside right now. You can see that we're dealing with areas of mist and drizzle, and it's in the low 70s. But the thing is, we are going to clear out very quickly here. In fact, we are going to be seeing a really completely sunny day. So it's going to be really nice after we get through this morning of fog and drizzle and mist. So clearing skies, becoming windy, west winds at 15 to 25 miles per hour, gusts up to 35 miles per hour. And in the week ahead, very nice. Sunny skies, mornings in the 40s, afternoons in the 60s. Not really a significant chance for rain, pretty much all of the 7-day forecast. So a very beautiful forecast after we get through this muggy and drizzly morning.
A nice payoff.
Looks beautiful out there. All right, we're about to take an hour-long break for Good Morning America, but don't worry, we'll be back here at 8 o'clock. We have a lot to talk about. Alicia Barrera joining us live from St. Fernando Cathedral with all the plans going on today for Easter Sunday.
And it's Easter Sunday, so of course the Salesian sisters will be praying, but they will also be hosting a cascarone fight at 1:30 this afternoon. So we're going to tell you why. That's all coming up in the next hour.
That sounds really interesting. Of course, I'll also recap the giant hail that we saw out west toward Del Rio and Bracketville. It's really incredible, the pictures that you all have sent in to our KSAT Connect app. So thank you for sending those in. Again, we'll have an updated look at where the clearing line is. We're going to see sunshine today, guys.
That is great news.
Awesome. All right, so I think we have like 15 seconds left. Anyone have good plans for today?
We're going to do that egg hunt.
Egg hunt?
Yes.
Fantastic.
I'm going to post the video of me and my husband singing for Easter Sunday.
Oh, that's
this
right.
afternoon.
Nice. We already have viewers reach out and ask for it.
Yeah, I'll do that.
All right, we'll see you in an hour.
have a tornado watch overnight. We did not see any tornadoes in San Antonio. We did, however, have grapefruit-sized hail out toward Del Rio and Brackettville. Again, good to know that we did not see any severe weather last night. It is still damp outside, but we are going to quickly be seeing these skies clear, and your Easter Sunday actually looks beautiful. A little on the windy side with winds from the west at 15 to 25, gusting up to 35, but quickly we will see the sunshine and a high near 84. Happy Easter to you. It is still cloudy outside right now, but it will not be this way for long. We are seeing some areas of drizzle, but very soon here, skies are going to start to clear. In fact, on the satellite imagery, you can see that skies are clearing in the hill country and south of San Antonio as much drier air is moving into place. It's going to be a beautiful Easter Sunday. We've got temperatures in the 70s right now, but look at this. We are going to quickly see the sunshine. 84 degrees for the high. The one kicker today will be the winds. The winds will be from the west at 15 to 25, gusting up to 35 miles per hour. All in all, a nice but windy Easter Sunday. Looking ahead, take a look at this. It's going to be beautiful in the week ahead. A lot of sunshine for us. Mornings in the 40s, afternoons in the 60s. Really not a significant chance for rain in the 7-day forecast, which is a welcome change because the last few days we've had to deal with the potential for severe weather. So enjoy this beautiful weather ahead. Enjoy some time outdoors. Just know it'll be pretty windy to be seeing a very sunny and very windy Easter Sunday. I know if you look outside right now, it doesn't look sunny, but trust me, we're going to get a front move through. Those winds will be from the west at 15 to 25 miles per hour. In the afternoon, sunshine and a high near 80. Happy Easter.
Live from KSAT 12. Good Morning San Antonio starts right now.
Late breaking news from overnight, an officer-involved shooting that left one suspect dead. We have the latest details.
And we have an update on the confirmed coronavirus numbers here in the county, the state, and the country. The United States now has the most deaths related to the pandemic.
And taking a live look out at the Alamo City, what for some was an interesting night weather-wise, today could pan out to be a beautiful day. We're going to check in with our Sarah Spivey in just a few moments. Good morning. It is 8 a.m. on this Easter Sunday, April 12th.
Happy Easter. Thanks for joining us.
We have our...
Not sun yet, but...
I was going to say, we're bringing the brightness.
Yeah.
Well, you are. I had a yellow tie on earlier.
Yeah, Max had a yellow tie.
You're the sunshine that
right
we
now.
need this morning. Sarah, are we going to see any changes?
We are going to see a lot of sunshine today, guys. I know right now outside it looks gray. It's damp out there, but trust me, we're going to see those winds switch around to the west, gusting up to 35 miles per hour, bringing in the drier air and bringing in the sunshine. But it was a busy night, especially for folks west of San Antonio. Take a look at this picture sent in through our KSAT Connect feature on our weather app. Wow, baseball-sized hail out toward Del Rio and Brackettville. Now, many of you who have been around San Antonio for a while know that back in 2016, we got some very large hail. Well, Del Rio got some very large hail early this morning, and it did look like that storm was going to continue to track to San Antonio, but thankfully, it did make a turn up to the north. Right now, outside, it is gray, but we are seeing peaks of sunshine, and we're quickly going to see this gray weather go away. It's 73 degrees outside. Dew points are in the 70s right now, but with the wind from the west, dew points will fall. It'll be a lot less humid in the afternoon. And even on the satellite imagery right now, you can see the clearing starting to happen in the hill country, the clearing starting to happen southwest of San Antonio. But most of us are waking up on the muggy side with temperatures in the upper 60s and low 70s this morning. Here's a look at your Easter forecast. Again, it's going to get sunny, and it's going to get sunny quick. Take a look at these winds. West at 15 to 25, gusting up to 35, and an afternoon high temperature, warm in the mid 80s. I'll be back with a look ahead to the week. It's going to be a beautiful weather week ahead in just a few minutes. Max, Stephanie.
Thank you, Sarah. New this morning, a suspect dead after police say that he pulled a gun and fired at an officer 2 times on the north side. Police tell us this happened just before 1 this morning, the 5000 block of Texana Drive, the San Miguel Apartments. Police telling us that a 38-year-old man was trying to break into his ex-girlfriend's apartment. That's when he was approached by police. The suspect turned around towards the officer, pulled out a gun and fired 2 shots. The officer returned fire, hitting the suspect several times. That suspect pronounced dead on the scene. The officer was not injured, but right now is on administrative leave as the investigation is still underway.
Investigators found a man shot to death early this morning in West Bexar County. Now, deputies were initially responding to a disturbance with a gun in the 1100 block of West Dublin Woods. When they got there, they found 2 people shot. 1 man was dead and a teen was injured. Now, the teen was taken to the hospital. We were told several shell casings were found on the street.
And the latest in the pandemic news, empty parks and empty churches. It's Easter Sunday like we've never seen it before across the world, actually, and specifically here in San Antonio. Churches adjusting from filled to online services to celebrate the day.
Our Alicia Beretta is live from outside of San Fernando Cathedral, a church that is usually packed by this hour on Easter Sunday. Right, Alicia?
Good morning. Yeah, usually packed. We always see people either already finding a good parking spot, families taking pictures outside, but it's completely different this year. Right now, we just heard the bells, and what you see right now, no one outside, but they're still celebrating. I want to show you the Facebook right now for San Fernando Cathedral. This was a picture that was shared last night by Father Victor. Of course, a picture of Our Lady of Guadalupe inside there and sending his blessings. And of course, he's saying here, our churches may be silent during this Easter season, but soon they'll come together, everyone. And then here's another one from First Baptist Church San Antonio. Our buildings, again, may be empty, but on Easter, so is the grave. So they're trying to reach so many different churches, trying to reach people of faith. Right here we have Christ the King Catholic Church, just like how they celebrated. It was empty pews in a way, but they had those pictures of family members of their church there. And then Living Way Church, this was their service yesterday of praise and worship. And of course, a lot of people right now tuning into the Mass from the Vatican with Pope Francis. And here we see just an empty St. Peter's Basilica. So that's what we're seeing across the nation and here in San Antonio as well, these empty churches. But again, the way that these churches have been for weeks now reaching people of faith is through Facebook. So usually we're told to leave our devices behind, turn them off. Well, this year, of course, that's looking a little different. And even Easter egg hunts, that's going to look completely different. People doing virtual ones with their families or private ones at their home. Reporting live, Alicia Barrera, KSAT 12 News.
Thank you so much, Alicia. And the latest on the pandemic, Mayor Ron Nirenberg set to give an update on the coronavirus later today. He's going to be holding a news conference just after 6 this evening to give the latest information on COVID-19 in Bexar County. We're going to be live streaming that press conference on our website, KSAT.com, and you can also watch it right here live on KSAT 12.
And right now, there are 723 positive COVID-19 cases in Bexar County. That's a 58 case increase in one day. The total death toll now is at 27. City officials also reported 156 cases are travel related. 263 are reported to be from close contact and 232 are from community transmission. A total of 119 patients have fully recovered from the virus, and 84 are still hospitalized.
And a second inmate at the Bexar County Jail has tested positive for COVID-19. Bexar County officials say the inmate developed a high fever, higher than 100 degrees on this past Wednesday. Officials with the sheriff's office say early reports showed the inmate, who is a capital murder suspect, did not have any symptoms, and he was actually housed in a unit where there was minimal face-to-face contact. Officials do believe that deputies who worked in the unit, as well as the inmates housed in the unit, are at low risk of contracting COVID-19.
And we have the latest numbers for the entire state of Texas as well, across the Lone Star State. 273 people have died and 13,352 people have tested positive for the virus. Now, more than half of 254 counties across the state have reported at least one case.
And we talked about Texas numbers, we talked about local numbers, but it is a tough reality for people across the country as deaths related to the pandemic have risen to more than 20,000.
Now, the U.S. now with one of the largest death tolls in the world. CNN's Daryl Forges explains.
The IRS says they have deposited the first wave of stimulus money for Americans on Saturday. Some good news during a tough day for the country. The United States now over 500,000 coronavirus cases and over 20,000 deaths.
We're seeing a peak now, but the decline is going to be very slow as some other states reach their peak later in April and even extending into May.
At the center of the pandemic, New York State.
That is not an all-time high. And you can see that the number is somewhat stabilizing, but it is stabilizing at an horrific rate.
But there is some hope in places like New York. Governor Andrew Cuomo says the hospitalization rate in that state appears to have hit its apex. Meanwhile, governors in places like Kentucky are urging people to stay at home. State officials say if some churches follow through with planned services, churchgoers will be issued citations and be required to self-quarantine.
How many people who have specifically chosen not to go to a mass gathering, right, end up paying for somebody else's decision?
Also on Easter weekend, the president ponders what he calls one of the biggest decisions of his presidency, whether or not to reopen the country sometime in May. I'm Daryl Forges reporting.
And back here at home, the San Antonio Zoo reminding everyone in a unique way to make sure you keep practicing social distancing. Now, the zoo took to Facebook telling people to maintain the distance of a tiger's length, or as we know, 6 feet. Didn't know that a tiger was 6 feet. You'd figure I learned that from the Tiger King.
Just imagine one right between us right now.
And it's important to keep that 6 feet between people if you go out in public. The post reads, quote, social distancing means keeping a tiger's length between you and other people at all times, but don't actually use a tiger.
No, not a good idea. And we just want to remind you here at KSAT, we are dedicated to giving you the latest information about COVID-19 in San Antonio, Texas, and around the country. From latest numbers and closures, we have updated information on our website at ksat.com. And this whole section is just, all you have to do is click on the coronavirus tab on our website.
And time now is 8:09, 73 degrees out.
And right here on KSAT 12, we have a Selena special that's airing tonight. Just ahead on GMSA, we have a preview of what you can expect.
And you know what? I'm going to give this one to you too, because I know it's your story and you're very excited about it.
I am. This is how a group of Salesian sisters celebrate Easter weekend, and we're not talking about their services. It's actually a Cascarone fight. We'll tell you why coming up.
Boom. Let's take a live look out at the Alamo City. Not much to look at now, but Sarah's making me optimistic for the rest of the day.
Yeah.
Your Easter Sunday could turn out to be a great one. We're going to check in with Sarah in just a few moments. Good morning and welcome back. Happy Easter Sunday. A group of nuns not only celebrating this Easter weekend through prayer, but also with a Cascarone fight.
So this is a friendly battle, and the Salesian sisters are not just doing this for a good time, but also to help launch a new program that connects them with the community.
At 1:30 in the afternoon on Easter Sunday, the Salesian sisters are hosting a friendly Cascarone fight.
We're going to have a live Cascarones friendly celebration, and it's just going to be, again, a way just to have fun and to rejoice. Like we were saying, even in the midst of all these challenges, we can still have a good time.
It's the Cascarones for Christ celebration as the Salesian sisters launched the Friend a Sister program. Upon donating, Friend a Sister participants are matched with a sister who will offer daily prayers for their match's intentions through phone conversations, emails, and writing letters.
It almost ended up being providential that we were starting this at this time, because that's pretty much what we can do right now. we can communicate with people still, and we can really pray for them. That's the most important part of our apostolate right now, is just the prayers. And people are asking for so many prayers, and that's what we can do.
And with places of worship closed this Easter weekend due to the COVID-19 outbreak, the sisters are hoping the new Friend a Sister program will give people another way to express their faith.
It's a blessing in the sense that we value things that perhaps at times we've taken for granted, like being together, doing without. I think that this virus is showing us really what is essential in life, and really to value what is the most important, and that is really the spirit of family, being together, priorities more than anything else.
Stephanie Cerna, KSAT 12 News.
And to find out more about the Friend a Sister program, or to watch the Cascarones celebration on Facebook Live today at 1:30, you can find their Facebook page under Salesian Sisters West.
Or their website, salesiansisterswest.org. We have both of those links on our website right now. Just head to ksat.com. All right. I remember this time last year, Sarah Spivey was standing right here.
Yes.
And got me as well.
I did get
we
to
had
with
our
a cup
own
to go
fight.
Yeah, but it's so exciting to see that people are trying to still celebrate Easter together, even though we are, spending time apart physically from one another. And today, it's going to be beautiful outside, so if you do have a front lawn, you'll be able to go out there. But last night was a little bit of a different story. I know I showed you before the break a few hailstones that were the size of baseballs out near Del Rio, and I want to show you that storm and just how lucky we were here in San Antonio to not see that storm here in the Alamo City. So this was right around about 7 o'clock in the evening. Then right at around 8, we saw that storm pass over the border and drop again, baseball-sized hail out near Del Rio. Then that storm took a course due east, heading very close to San Antonio. Brackettville saw some baseball-sized hail as well. And then notice that there was even a tornado warning with this storm system as it was starting to show a little bit of rotation. That was last night at about 9 p.m. It continued to move to the east, dropping some hail near Concan as well. But then right when it looked like it was going to cross into the Medina County border toward Hondo, it ended up turning to the northeast and fizzling out before creating any more damage around the KSAT 12 viewing area. So again, although there was a tornado watch around San Antonio last night and there was the potential for severe weather, thankfully we didn't see severe weather around the Alamo City. Right now on the radar, it is quiet around San Antonio. Most of the rain is northeast of Bryan College Station up toward the Tyler area, where they're even dealing with a few tornado warnings out in East Texas. Like I said, relatively dry around San Antonio as far as precipitation is concerned. There is a little bit of road spray out there, but thankfully not too many people out on the roads this morning. We are, however, still seeing some areas of fog and haze, but you can see even on the signs there and on the sides of the building, we're starting to see the sun move on through and those clouds, and into the mid-morning hours, we will pretty much completely clear out and see a beautiful sunny Easter. But right now it is muggy out there with winds from the southwest at about 10 miles per hour. Here's a look at the satellite, and you can see that there are areas of sunshine in the northern section of Bexar County up into the hill country. Kerrville, you're experiencing sunshine, Lakey sunshine, Uvalde sunshine. We're still just dealing with some residual cloud cover here in San Antonio. It's 59 degrees in Rock Springs, a lot cooler than San Antonio because that front has moved through. And today won't be cool, but today will be a lot drier. So the areas that are seeing some mist right now, you're not going to see mist for much longer. Notice that we've got completely clear visibility out toward Kerrville, Rock Springs, and Del Rio, where skies have cleared. That's also where we've got drier air moving in place. Notice that around San Antonio, dew points are in the 70s. That is very muggy air, but meanwhile, dew points are only in the 40s out toward Rock Springs. So we're going to see this drier air filter in today in the form of a wind from the west, gusting up to 35 miles per hour. It is going to be a very windy Sunday for us, and then it'll be sunny as we head throughout the late morning hours and into the afternoon. Dry air warms up really easily, so because of that, it's going to be warm in the afternoon, but it will not be humid, so it'll feel great with just, again, those winds from the west at about 15 to 25 miles per hour. We're going to go for a high temperature in San Antonio this Easter Sunday, right around 84 degrees. It'll be pleasant in the evening. And then tomorrow, a real deal cold front is going to move through, and that's going to knock our high temperatures down into the 60s for a good portion of the week. On top of that, it's going to be beautifully sunny, nice and clear, with mornings in the 40s, afternoons in the 60s. A beautiful week ahead. Again, we're seeing those skies clear as we speak. Max, Stephanie.
Sarah.
All right, looks like a good week ahead.
Nice Easter day.
Fantastic. Thank you, Sarah. 8:20, 73 degrees out.
And a big donation to the San Antonio Food Bank still ahead on GMSA. We have more details on this Good Samaritan's donation and her plea to the community.
And next on GMSA, a preview of the Selena special airing tonight right here on KSAT 12 at 9 o'clock. We'll be right back. Good morning and welcome back. It is a lasting legacy that will never fade.
Selena was just about to be 23 when she was taken too soon in 1995, and since then her popularity has grown and she continues to break records.
Now, Selena broke a lot of barriers and is actually the #1 selling Latin artist of all time. 70 million records sold across the world.
I don't think when we were doing what we were doing, I don't think we had an idea of the impact of the music, the impact of Selena, her legacy, what she stand for back then, and even more so now.
And this year, the world will continue to celebrate her. Already, MAC, the cosmetic line, has announced a new line of makeup to be released this month, and a Netflix series will be released this year.
And for more on Selena's legacy, make sure to watch Siempre Selena right here on KSAT 12, set for tonight at 9 p.m. And good news, all you cool cats and kittens, Tiger King, at least more Tiger King, is coming today.
A surprise to us this morning. So Netflix is bringing back its widely talked about docuseries for one more episode with a special host, comedian Joe McHale. Now, the 8th episode of the show is titled The Tiger King and I.
So the after show style episode is going to include a lot of interviews with a lot of main characters like Jeff and Lauren Lowe. And if you're a fan of the show, those names are very familiar to you.
And Nielsen says the series garnered 34 million unique views in the first 10 days of its release in the U.S. alone.
Did you watch Tiger King?
I'm sorry, I'm laughing at the video.
Joe McHale, funny guy.
Yeah, the last 3, I was in and out of the first couple. I had to get updated from my husband, but yeah.
You gonna watch this one today?
We'll see.
We'll see. That's a good answer. We'll see. Time now, 8:26, 73 degrees out.
And hospitals across the world are trying to figure out how they can make their supplies last. Coming up, we show you how local hospital system is using in-house ingenuity to keep their nurses and their doctors safe.
And the Texas governor honoring first responders last night. We're going to show you just ahead. Good morning and welcome back. 8:30 this Sunday morning, April 12th, and it is Easter Sunday.
Happy Easter. Thanks for joining us. And we will see the sun, maybe not now, but a little later, and possibly some wind, right, Sarah?
Yeah. Definitely. Well, it's interesting you mentioned that, Stephanie, because in that picture behind you guys, you can't really see the top of the Tower of the Americas because of the low cloud deck. But take a look at this picture behind me. In the foreground there, you can actually see the sun starting to shine on the roads and on the street signs. So the sun is starting to peek through, although it is cloudy right now at the airport and it's 73 degrees. Those roads are still a little on the damp side as well, but these clouds are quickly eroding. In fact, if you squint hard enough, you can even see a few peaks of blue there. And in the satellite image, you can see it very clearly. The southwest side of Bexar County, more sunshine. The northwest side of Bexar County, more sunshine. Just right in the middle of San Antonio that we're still seeing that low cloud deck. We're seeing tons of sunshine out across the hill country right now. Kerrville, Leakey, Bandera, Rock Springs, Bernie. A lot of sunshine, and temperatures behind that front are a little bit cooler, but the front today is really just going to help to dry us out instead of cool us down, and it will kick up the winds. There are some areas that are still dealing with those low clouds and some areas of fog, so New Braunfels visibility is down to 2 miles, and like I said, temperatures are in the 70s, so it's still muggy out there, but just hold your horses because we'll be seeing those winds kick around from the west at about 15 to 25, gusting up to 35. That'll bring in a nice dry air mass to San Antonio, so it won't be humid, and that'll allow us to warm up today. We'll be near 84 degrees under complete sunshine this Easter Sunday, and the weather looks even nicer in the week ahead. Temperatures a lot cooler, but still plenty of sunshine. I've got to look ahead in just a few minutes. Max, Stephanie.
All right, thank you so much, Sarah. Well, we are in unprecedented circumstances, and for those celebrating Easter today, putting on your Sunday best is going to look a lot different. Churches are celebrating with empty pews and celebrating through online services.
Our Alicia Barrera is live from outside San Fernando Cathedral with more on this year's unique celebration.
Good morning. Well, the San Fernando Mass, Easter Mass, is at 10 this morning, so their doors will remain shut, but their Facebook will be going live. They'll have that service going on later. But I also wanted to show you First Baptist Church here in San Antonio. This is what we're seeing across. buildings close. Our buildings may be empty, but on Easter, so is the grave. So today, so many churches and people of faith rejoicing because the churches are empty, because that means that people are staying at home. Here's a way that shows that people are there in spirit. This is Christ the King Catholic Church. They did such a special thing, printed out pictures of their parishioners and put it on the pews. And we talked about Pope Francis, the Easter Vigil, the Easter Mass, going on, but in an empty St. Peter's Basilica. And then Oak Hills Church, they actually just finished their first service. They'll have another service at 9:30 and 11:30 a.m. You can tune into that on their Facebook page, and they'll also have it on their website. So a completely different Easter this year, but it's for a good reason, for social distancing, to make sure that everyone stays safe and stays healthy. And another big change this year, those parks here in San Antonio will remain closed, and park police will be patrolling to make sure that people are not gathering at parks. Reporting live, Alicia Barrera, KSAT 12 News.
All right, thank you so much, Alicia. The city also putting out these reminders to encourage social distancing this Easter weekend. While you might want to invite everyone over for a weekend barbecue, city leaders say that you should limit your Easter weekend to spending those only who live in your household, and keep that egg hunt in your own yard. Remember, the more that we practice social distancing, the more we can help to flatten the curve.
And city parks across San Antonio will stay closed today. City officials closed the parks for Easter weekend to prevent people from gathering in large groups. That means none of us will be able to camp out in local parks or host picnics. Places that are closed include some larger parks. That includes Eisenhower Park and Friedrich Park. The mayor says he enacted the order to encourage social distancing. If you want to get some fresh air today, though, the trail systems and greenways will remain open.
And people in our community are stepping up and helping out, especially when it comes to San Antonio Food Bank. They are trying to stay afloat amid a massive demand for food because of this pandemic. And among the community leaders that are helping out, that includes best-selling author, sports writer, and San Antonio native Shay Serrano. Shay teaming up with Twitter users, raising over $100,000 for the San Antonio Food Bank, helping provide food for those who may be struggling as the coronavirus continues to sweep across the world. Now, Shay has raised over $80,000 so far, and actually just checked, it was more than $100,000.
Very cool. Good job. Thank you for all those donations, by the way.
Absolutely.
And hospitals around the world are doing their best to protect nurses and those on the front lines who are fighting COVID-19.
Now, supplies vary from hospital to hospital, but here in San Antonio, University Health System is using in-house ingenuity to make sure their medical staff is safe and make sure they're prepared. UHS using their STARAD system to clean their personal protective equipment. It's simple, easy, and effective, and it's a process that ensures things like masks are clean and medical workers are avoiding as much danger as possible, but it also helps keep the supply healthy.
It allows us to preserve our stock of PPE as we get more PPE in. So we have N95 masks coming on a regular basis to University Health System. But what this does is it allows us to extend our stock so that if the surge occurs, we'll have PPE for our staff to use.
In our later newscasts, hear more from Dr. Tommy Austin about the importance of this process, what it means for safety, and what it means for morale.
And in the state of Texas, the number of COVID-19 cases keeps rising. As of yesterday, there were more than 12,000 cases and 254 deaths in the state, and more than half of the state's 254 counties have reported at least one case. Again, as of Saturday, more than 1,000 patients are known to be hospitalized in Texas. That's a decrease of 18 patients from Friday, and at least 120,000 tests have been conducted.
Now to the latest confusion in the largest school district in the entire country. This weekend, the mayor of New York City says schools should stay closed for the remainder of the academic year, but then the governor stepped in.
ABC's Ariel Reshef is at home in New York, where so many parents are in limbo.
This morning, a public spat over the fate of the school year in New York City, underscoring a painful debate gripping districts from coast to coast.
And after very careful consideration, I announced today that the New York City public schools will remain closed for the remainder of this school year.
As COVID-19 cases appear to be hitting a possible plateau at the epicenter of the crisis, New York City Mayor Bill de Blasio with that stark announcement about the nation's largest school district. But New York Governor Andrew Cuomo quickly pushing back, saying only he has the legal authority to decide the fate of the city's 1.1 million students.
There has been no decision. That's the mayor's opinion.
Nationwide, already Pennsylvania, Indiana, Kansas, and Virginia among the states shuttering schools for the rest of the academic year.
The biggest factor to consider when you're closing schools is childcare for working families.
More than 54 million students across the country kept out of classrooms for weeks in the midst of the pandemic, marking a seismic shift to online learning.
Depending on the wealth factor of a school district, you had districts where every student had a laptop. But at the other end of the spectrum, you have districts that have a high percentage of students in poverty where they didn't have a laptop.
Parents and guardians forced into full-time homeschooling.
My youngest has dyslexia, and so reading for her is a challenge, and so I'm finding myself sitting down and doing the reading with her.
A new normal putting pressure on families like the Urbanchiks as they try to find balance. And a silver lining in the midst of the crisis.
If anything that positive comes out of it, it'll be that I really will hone in on her strengths and weaknesses, and I'll be able to ask for what she needs when she does go back.
And that was Ariel Rochef reporting. Well, we are in unique times. Organizations across the world are using virtual means to communicate, things like Zoom, and they're operating as normal, at least as normal as they're trying to. Legislative bodies are not any different. The Kansas Supreme Court conducted completely via video conferencing, and they ruled the Kansas governor's executive order banning religious and funeral services of more than 10 people during the coronavirus pandemic will stand.
And last night, the Texas governor's mansion was blue. Take a look. Governor Greg Abbott shared this picture on Twitter. He said the blue is in honor of all the heroic frontline healthcare workers. In his post, he later writes, quote, "Thank you for what you are doing as we continue to respond to COVID-19. God bless you and God bless Texas," end quote.
Yeah, and thank you to everyone, all the first responders, all the nurses, everyone out there on the front lines.
Yes, everybody working in the stores, all the deliveries. We appreciate everything that you guys are doing.
Time now 8:40, 73 degrees out.
And cheese lovers, listen to this. Is National Grilled Cheese Sandwich Day.
Well, come on, producers, you couldn't have brought us some grilled cheese?
We have some fun facts about the delicious American classic.
And Uber now distributing masks to drivers, trying to reduce the spread of COVID-19. The details of how many masks are expected to be sent. That's next.
So we didn't get grilled cheese, but we got tacos.
We did get tacos.
A very special thank you.
Shout out to Rita's. Very nice Easter surprise. Happy Easter out there.
Yes, happy Easter. Be safe. And take care on those roads if you have to head out. We'll be right back. And welcome back. It's 8:44. Uber is distributing millions of masks to its drivers and deliverers to help keep them safe from COVID-19. Now, cities like Miami, Detroit, and Philadelphia now require public transit or rideshare drivers to wear these masks. Uber says the first shipment went out Tuesday to people in New York. The company says tens of millions of more masks are expected to arrive in other cities in the coming weeks.
All right, so we talked about today. It is Sunday, Easter Sunday. Let's start with the pictures. What do we got?
So we have some throwbacks.
Nice. For those of you who don't know, this is
my daughter. She was a little sad she didn't get to take a picture with the Easter Bunny this year, but these are some of the pictures from her past Easters. And that's Gordo.
Gordo making 2 appearances this weekend.
Yeah, Gordo always likes to come in and smile. So I know Nora likes to get in the picture sometimes as well, right, Sarah?
I love how Gordo's head is like just resting on his shoulder.
Yes.
It is so big. Those little throwback pictures of Rooney there are super cute.
Thank you, Sarah.
You got a cute little daughter.
Thank you.
And happy Easter to everyone. I know that around San Antonio we are still dealing with some areas of fog out there, but it's really going to end up being a beautiful day. So we are looking at some sunshine. You guys ready for some sunshine?
Yes, we are.
Okay, cool. Yeah, the sun will start shining, but unfortunately last night It was a little busy for those of you who live out toward Del Rio and Bracketville. There was baseball hail reported out there late last night between about 8 and 9:30 in the evening. Thankfully, that severe storm, although it was heading east towards San Antonio, did end up fizzling out, which is, of course, good news. And now on the radar, it is very quiet around south central Texas. Really, the only storms in Texas are now working their way into East Texas near Lufkin, where there are still some severe thunderstorm warnings out there. But here in San Antonio, we have seen an end to the rain. We did see only a little bit of rainfall at the airport. And as you can see looking out there right now, we're starting to see those skies clear. But it is still fairly cloudy at the airport, and it's 73 degrees. I want to show you the satellite because really, honestly, the clouds are pretty confined to just San Antonio right now. You can see those low-level clouds, but out toward the hill country, look at that, complete sunshine in Bandera, complete sunshine out in Kendall County and Kerrville as well. So that complete sunshine is heading our way. Today is going to be a beautiful Easter Sunday, but it definitely will be windy out there. Temperatures are in the 60s up in the hill country behind the front that's moving through, in the 50s in Rock Springs. And there's a look at our weather setup. You can still see that there's a tornado watch for areas of East Texas. There was a tornado watch around San Antonio late last night, but thankfully that's all it was, a watch. We were watching out for the potential for tornadoes. We didn't see any in San Antonio. There's still a lot of rain ongoing in northeast Texas as well, right closer to that low pressure system. And it's going to be a busy weather day for the Tennessee River Valley. Likely going to be seeing a tornado outbreak out east. But here in San Antonio, we'll be dealing with beautiful, dry weather moving in from the west today. Those winds will pick up from the west up to 35 miles per hour by the late morning hours. So it's going to get windy, it's going to get dry, and it's going to get sunny around San Antonio this Easter Sunday. We're still going to be able to warm up, though, nicely because of the dry conditions. So expect a high temperature in the low to mid 80s this afternoon. Again, gusts up to 35 miles per hour. So if you have anything outdoors that gets blown away really easy, if you haven't taken the trash can in, go ahead and take that in right now because it's going to get windy by the afternoon. Then tomorrow we'll have a real deal cold front, and that'll bring our high temperatures down into the 60s for a good portion of next week. Now, usually when we see highs in the 60s this time of year, it's because it's cloudy. That is not going to be the case. It's going to be sunny and beautiful this week, and the mornings are going to actually be crisp and chilly. Take a look at these morning temperatures throughout the week in the low to mid 40s. So if you're somebody who likes to get out and go for a run early in the morning hours, it's going to be great to do that because it'll slowly warm up and it'll be nice and sunny outside this week too. Again, beautiful weather this week. I'm happy to bring some quiet, beautiful weather because I know we've been on the lookout for some strong to severe storms the last few days. So it's nice to kind of bask in the sunshine that we'll get around San Antonio this week. Max, Stephanie.
Thank you, Sarah. We look forward to the nice week.
Thank you so much, Sarah. Time now is 8:48, 73 degrees out.
And we'll talk a little bit about National Grilled Cheese Day in just a bit.
Woo woo! All right, but first, birthdays. Happy birthday to my friend Ellie. I'm actually in the picture.
That's you.
That is me. Happy birthday, Ellie. Happy Easter to everyone out there. Remember, if you want to send your birthday pictures in, just head to ksat.com/birthdays. Include a name and an age. We share them every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday right here on GMSA.
And investigators found a man shot to death early this morning in West Bexar County. Deputies were initially responding to a disturbance with a gun in the 1100 block of West Dublin Woods. When they got there, they found 2 people shot. 1 man was dead and a teen was injured. The teen was taken to the hospital.
And also in the news you need to know before you go, a man is dead after police say that the suspect pulled a gun and fired twice at an officer on the north side. Police telling us this all happened just before 1 a.m. in the 5000 block of Texana Drive at the San Miguel Apartments. Police say a 38-year-old man was breaking into his ex-girlfriend's apartment. That's when he was approached by a police officer. The suspect then allegedly turned toward the officer and pulled a gun, firing it twice. The officer returned fire, hitting the suspect several times. That suspect pronounced dead on the scene. The officer was not injured, but right now they are put on administrative leave as the investigation is still underway. And heights, spiders, and thunderstorms. Well, not so much thunderstorms. We all have something to fear, but What is the best way to face your fears? Tomorrow in GMSA, we hear from a psychologist on how a little bit of fear can actually be good for you. Again, tomorrow on GMSA.
And we just got the pollen count in. It's good news because oak is actually low today. Mulberry, pecan, and grass are low as well. Mold is moderate, so that's kind of the only hiccup in the pollen count. But again, mold is down quite a bit from yesterday. You may be seeing some low clouds around San Antonio, but know that we will be looking at sunshine. In fact, it's completely sunny in the hill country, so that sun is on its way. It'll be a sunny and windy Easter Sunday. Winds will be from the west at 15 to 25, gusting up to 35. In the afternoon, we'll be looking at a high temperature near 84 degrees, and it'll be pretty nice again in the evening hours. We'll be looking at clearing skies, beautiful conditions during the week, and a cool front arriving late tonight and into early tomorrow. That'll mean our highs will only be in the 60s for a good portion of the week, with morning lows in the 40s.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Really nice.
Great for morning runs.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, rejoice, sports fans. Live games are returning to ESPN. Well, kind of live games. Tonight, the network is going to air, get this, a 2-day horse challenge.
And horse, the basketball shooting game used to play with your friends where you try to spell out the word horse, H-O-R-S-E. Only this time it will be played by current and former NBA and WNBA stars.
All right. So some people that you need to know who are playing: Chris Paul, Trae Young, and they're going to be playing in courts in or near their homes. And ESPN is going to be carrying the 4-hour event.
And cheese lovers, rejoice. It's National Grilled Cheese Sandwich Day.
It is one of America's top comfort foods. According to historians, civilizations around the world have been enjoying pairing bread and cheese for thousands of years, but the United States' modern version of grilled cheese originated in the 1920s.
Sliced bread and American cheese became some of the most accessible foods for U.S. residents during the era, so it became very popular.
All right, I'd rather breakfast tacos. Anyway, Sarah, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Steph, thank you so much. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great rest of the weekend.
Yes.
Happy Easter.
Happy Easter. Bye, guys.